Good morning, everybody. Happy February. How are you all doing? All right, so I have a new project I wanted to do. I'm recording this on my phone today. Oh, we'll get to that in just a minute. I have my Colorado cup and I'm drinking it black today, and I'll tell you why. So I hope you guys are all ready to sit down and spend some time with me. We're going to crochet today. I've got a new project I want to do with you guys for the month of February. And I was inspired to do this by Llama Mama Kayla. So if you know that she was doing a project, an Advent project, and I was not feeling well enough to do anything like that over the holidays. And I'm really hoping to be able to get all the way through this month with this project. If not, it is what it is. And also, I'm not going to be editing, so I may ramble a bit. There may be bumps and bobbles. Sometimes Serbs comes over here and he bumps things, and we're just going to go with it. So, in the raw, so to speak. So, what is in my cup? So, if you know that Llama Mama Kayla was doing a Ruana, and she was adding in from her little Advent bags that her son had picked out for her and put a little something something in it. And every day she was drinking a coffee that she had gotten from a sampler box, and the sampler box had come from one of her subscribers. This one smells so good. So let me show you the box. I ordered something from Amazon, and it is called the Perfect Sampler. And K-Cup Brewers Variety Pack Sampler. There are 40 in here, so that'll get us through the month of February. And I ordered the decaf because, as you know, we'll talk about it throughout the month, but I've been experiencing some AFib, and so I am trying to cut back on my caffeine. So I pulled out, here's the little, I also got something here. You can enter to do a giveaway. Coffee Lovers giveaway. You get a Keurig machine and a 4-month supply of coffee. And here there is the web address where you can go to, and you can scan this to enter also. So let me show that little, just looking to see if you can see. There's the address, and here's the scan dilly. Anyway, I'm going to enter that. So I'm going to set it right here in my cart next to me. And let me see. I don't know that there's another one of the ones that I got, so I will just tell you. Next time I'll try to remember to bring the little cup over here. But since I'm not editing, we're not going to go get it. But today was chocolate strawberry. Now, I don't normally drink, and here's a look inside the box. I wouldn't normally have gotten a chocolate strawberry, y'all. Yeah, not usually what I would have chosen. Not that I don't like those flavors. I like the flavors, but I normally would not have gotten it for myself for my coffee. So that's interesting. It's been sitting here cooling off for about 5 minutes, so let me give it a little peruse. Oh, I don't know if you can hear it or not. That's why I wanted to get this done. It's about 11 o'clock Central Time, and I just got out of the shower, don't have any gel or anything on my hair, got dressed, and said I need to get this going. I'm going to do this on my phone today, probably every day, but mainly today because we have ice and sleet coming down. And I don't know if we're going to have any electricity, so I'm like, you know what? Let's get her done while we have light. Okay, it is good. So this is just a vloggy thing, you guys. But I am going to be making something. It's really good. I'm not sure I taste the chocolate, though. There's just a hint of both of them. So I love that I'm going to be trying different flavors than I would normally have tried. That's going to be really fun. And we'll find out if there's multiples in that box. So I want to say thank you to Llama Mama Kayla, because I spent every day with her and she really inspired me to keep going. I had some very low points, not feeling well. I had the flu all of last week. So I just want to, so this is an ode to Llama Mama Kayla, okay? And her inspiration for all of us to just keep on going. Now, if you are sensitive to naughty things, in other words, naughty words, I may not be the channel for you, because occasionally I share with you things that I have bought because I have a potty mouth and I try not to say it. I don't like say all the words here on the channel, but one comes out every now and then because it's just part of my world, you know? It's just me. And I decided this year to just be me, okay? That doesn't mean I'm going to cuss it up a storm on here. Don't think that's what I'm going to do. However, I decided to do a project where I asked Mr. Fiber to pick some yarns for me to make something. And I said, what do you think that I should make? And he said, why don't you make a poncho? So we're going to be making a poncho. I am. And I'm going to use yarns that Mr. Fiber picked. And all of the yarns, now I gave him a big bag, but it's still, you can still see some of the yarns from inside of the bag. You can still see some, and that's okay. This is my bag from my spring shop, Fiber Floozie Crafts, Cool to Be Kind, Crafting in the She Shed. This design was made for me by Coco of Coco's Cocktails and Crochet with Coco, I think is the name. I always get that wrong. But I just love that guy because the sloth is my spirit animal, if you don't know. Okay, so that's, the yarn is being housed in that bag, and I'm just going to pull one out and I'm going to use it. And so I will tell you, if you're sensitive or you have children in the room and you don't want them to see this, here is the bag. Now, this is the bag I'm going to be using. It's from Naughty Knitting Sacks. Her name is Katie. And y'all, she is halfway to her degree in forensic science. It's really amazing. I really want to get her on sometime to come and talk to us. It's got a beautiful, this is like a canvasy kind of feel to it. I just love this bag. Now the inside of the bag, I'm not going to, there's a flash of it right there. It's rainbow. Okay, I'll just flash it. There you go. I have some buttons on the back. Not gonna say it. This one is Papillon Knittery. They're in Amarillo, and I stopped in there when on my way through from Colorado on a couple trips ago, and I need to do that again. They have moved, so I need to go by and go to their new store. Okay, now inside I have a pouch. Now this one you definitely want to, it's another look away. It does have a wonderful little box bottom on it, this pouch. Now I got this pouch on Etsy, and I do not remember who made this, but it's got beautiful flowers on it, and then it has a saying on it. Okay, and here we go. So in my pouch, Mr. Fiber picked the bags, y'all. Just saying. I've got a little pair of scissors. I've got my, I don't know that we're gonna have to measure this, but this is from Honeybee Knits, and this is one of the nicer tape measures that I've had. It works extremely well, and it has held up for a long time. And I'm going to be using an I-9 5.5 millimeter. And this is one of the boy hooks with the wooden handles. My daughter Chelsea and I, we love these wooden handled hooks. Okay, so that's what's in there. And then this also has it has a pocket on the inside. All right, so that's where I'm gonna, once I get started, that's what I'm gonna put it in. And this has a bunch of little sayings on there. You can stop the video and look at them if you want to. We aren't gonna point it all out. So I'm just gonna reach over here with my eyes closed and grab something and then turn it around. And then we'll see what I grabbed. I grabbed Brava worsted weight yarn from Knit Picks and We Crochet. It's a 4-weight, 100% premium acrylic, machine wash, tumble dry, and it says knitting needle you would do 4.5 to 5 inches to 1 inch. So that's your gauge, and they're suggesting a number 7 to number 8 needle. And then they're suggesting between an I and a K on the crochet hook, 11 to 14 single crochets to 4 inches. This color is, isn't it on there? Salt and Pepper Speckle. So Mr. Fiber wants me to make a poncho, and he said to pick my colors and then crochet 7 rows with each color. Now, do not have 30 or 28 yarns in this bag. I said, well, it's going to be a lot to pick. I said, why don't you pick 15, and then I'll take them out, and then I'll put them back in when I'm through, and we'll pick again. And he said, make a poncho, and he wanted me to make it to where there's just a circle here, and then we're going to circle out. So I'm going to start with making a circle neck, and then we're going to circle out to make the rest of the poncho. So that means I'm going to have to work out my increases and all of that so that it lays halfway decent as we go along. Oh, it's really coming down ice now. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now you know the project. Now you know the theme and all of that good stuff. And now we'll just do some talking. I am feeling a whole lot better. I still have some hanging on. You can probably still hear it in my sinuses are still trying to clear. So choker now. Not there yet. And other than that, I feel a lot better. I'm still getting kind of tired, but I want to say that that's probably the AFib. I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking it is. So today's Thursday. No, today's Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. And last Monday was when I was tested positive for the flu. And then I went back to the doctor on Wednesday because I've been having some more issues with the AFib. Now, okay, now that's a little too wide, I would think. Well, I don't know. Oh, that's actually pretty good. All right, so I'm going to count these and see if they are. Now, I'm not going to edit, but I may stop it and then restart it. So let me count these, and then, where's my little doodad? I got a little doodad for this tripod. Let me see if it works. It's not working. Okay. Okay, 79. And I want this to be even, so actually I'm going to go down, take one out, and go back to 78. Because whatever I do, I want it to be even. So chain 78. And if you ever want to know, and you're like, if you're a beginner crochet, when you're counting across a long chain, I just count this top loop up here. That's how I count my chain, just so you know, because it can get confusing. Now I'm going to watch that top line. I'm going to follow it down. And when I say following it down, I want those loops, the top loop and the bottom loop, I want it to look like a V going this way. Why am I doing this? Because you don't want this to be twisted when you join it. All right. Now I'm not going to go into that knot. I'm going to go into the very last one. Put the yarn over and pull it through that and the loop that's on the hook. Now we are joined and we are not twisted. I'm not going to work over my tail. I always like to tuck my tails in. I don't know about you guys, but that's just me. Now I'm going to go into the first one, and I'm going to do single crochets all the way around. So the AFib started sometime around the time that I went up to, it was kind of a stressful time when I went to my dad's. Last year, my dad was supposed to have had fairly major surgery, and it was supposed to happen in May. And it had already been put off from 2021 because of COVID. This was a resection of his colon. So I had been kind of waiting on doing anything. Like, I didn't start getting my teeth done. I didn't do much of anything. I waited and I waited, was waiting for his surgery date. He was getting appointments and all of those things. I had gone up there at Christmas time, and I could tell he was not feeling well. Things were going on. I was worried about him. He had taken care of a lot of other stuff, but he hadn't taken care of that surgery. And I went with him to the doctor, and the doctor said, we need to see about this, because he'd had a colonoscopy, and it had been a good bit since they had looked to see how things were looking. So I just had been kind of in a holding pattern for a while with him, and waiting for him to get his surgery. And when in May it was canceled, I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started on all the other stuff. So I got started on getting my teeth fixed. And I was still waiting for I was waiting for my bridge and some other stuff before I went up there. Um, so I hadn't even really got it all done, but I'd gotten most of it done before they had rescheduled his surgery to August. And I got a call from him. He had his appointment. They wanted another colonoscopy before the surgery, and he was doing the clean out before the colonoscopy, and he said something's wrong. Something's wrong. I don't know what it is. He'd already been to the emergency room once that week, and he wound up going again, and then he was holed up in the house, and he said, I can't. He says, my back is so bad. He says, I can't go. I'm going to need you. I'm not going to the surgery. No, I'm not going to the colonoscopy. Okay. So I said, are you going to be okay if I wait until tomorrow? And he said, yes. So this was like on a Friday. And his surgery was August 9th. August 8th. And it was really crazy because August 8th is the anniversary when my mama died. And that's when he was going to have surgery. And we were like, wow, can't believe they put it on that day. And this was the Friday before. He said, yeah, I'll be okay. So I got in the car very, very early. I packed everything up Friday, got in the car early Saturday morning, drove 10 hours. It's between 10 and 11 hours, depending on how many times you stop, between here in West Texas, where I'm at, to where he's at in Colorado Springs. And I pretty well drove straight through. I made it in 9 hours. I would not recommend taking that route again. Just saying, because that took me down a dirt road that was very washboard, and I don't know if y'all know what washboard on a dirt road is. We have it. We get it here. Drives me nuts. It was washboard. It was bumps. There was nobody out there. My map took me in some spots that I was like, oh, I may have just messed up. But I did it in 9 hours. Wouldn't do it again. I get there, and I was bringing, because I knew that my dad was not eating well. I just knew it. And I had just been to the grocery store and bought, because I was eating only plant-based at that time. And I said, I got to bring all this, because Mr. Fiber, a lot of that he was not able to eat because of his teeth, just not able to do it. So I was like, well, I'm going to have to bring all this with me, because otherwise, most of it's going to spoil. At least if I bring it with me, we'll have a chance of eating it. Because I'm figuring I was going to be there for a bit. And I was right. So as I'm going along here, I'm trying not to twist it again by going into the wrong portion of try not to go, not turn it up and then twist it, because that's a thing. So let me double check. I may have twisted somewhere. Where did that happen? No, actually, nope, it looks okay. All right, good. I just had to see it. So that's how all of that went down, and I wound up staying 33 days, as you know. If you've been watching me, you know I stayed 33 days at my dad's. And I had an episode of AFib right after I got there. And I thought what I was having was stress along with a problem with altitude. So going up and down the stairs, because he was upstairs and he was not able to come downstairs. He was hobbling from the bed to the bathroom, back to bed, and that was it. So it was as far as he was going. And I was the one who was doing all the footwork, you know, up and down the stairs with him. Anything he needed. So I thought, well, the stairs were what was causing my problem. Now I know that that's not the case. When I was younger, I did take diet pills. And I have been thinking for a long time that that would come back and haunt me at some point. However, I don't think that's the problem. My biological father and my mother both had AFib. My grandfather had heart problems. He had open heart surgery and all that. So it's there. The genetics are there. The markers are there. Stuff's going on. So I'm now getting it checked out. I went to the doctor. I showed him that I had something had come up on my Fitbit. And he said, now, I don't normally just say, okay, this Fitbit says this, so now we have to do something. Not what he would do. Okay, I gotta count this and see where I'm at. Okay, we're good. I have 76. When all is said and done, I have 76 rows. I'm gonna got my little thing with my stitch markers here. I'm gonna put a stitch marker in that stitch right there. And put it around the post. It's just keeping an eye on where I started. Now I'm going to do double crochets, and I'm not going to increase on this one either. Not yet. And I'm not going to chain. I'm just going to yarn over and go right in there, and I'm just kind of going to elongate that a little bit and do the double. So not increasing yet, and I'm going through both loops. It's really raining and icing big time. Right now, I don't know how much of that is actual ice. Seems like a lot of rain. We'll find out. But the temperature is in the 20s. So, yeah, no. Yeah, so that's the start of the AFib. I went to the doctor and he looked at all of it and he decided I needed to do the sleep study. I did the sleep study, and that was after I got back from my dad's after those 33 days. And no, I had one while I was there during those 33 days. And then I had another one after I got back. And that's what got picked up on the Fitbit. Went to the doctor and he wanted to do a sleep study. However, they had rescheduled my dad's surgery from August the 8th to November 10th. And I said, well, I'm going to have to go to Colorado, so we're going to have to do it when I get back. So he went ahead and ordered it. And I spoke to the people who were sending me the equipment because I did it from home. And they waited until I got back to send me the equipment. So it wasn't until after, because I stayed at Dad's till Thanksgiving. So after Thanksgiving, I had come home, and it was about that first week of December that I did the sleep study. Now, the sleep study showed no AFib. I did it for 2 nights, and there was no AFib on there. However, it did show that I have mild sleep apnea. So my doctor said maybe I should go ahead and go to the pulmonologist. The people who sent me the equipment for the sleep study recommended a certain machine for CPAP machine and all of that, and put basically a prescription in there for the CPAP. My doctor said, I have a problem with the people who make the machines prescribing that. He said, so let's go ahead and talk to a pulmonologist. Now, I can't get in with them until April. I can taste more strawberry now. It's interesting, when it cools down, there's a different kind of flavor going on, and I can taste the strawberry. Still not getting a lot of chocolate. That's good though. Really surprised how well I like that, seeing as how I wouldn't have picked it. So the sleep study shows the mild sleep apnea. I'll be going to the pulmonologist in April. And then I had another episode at Christmas. And get this. This one, we were all sitting around. My daughter Carrie was here, and Mr. Fiber and we had eaten our Christmas dinner, and we were all laughing, just laughing, which we often do when my girls are here. We get to laughing. And I mean, when we laugh, I sometimes get into a full snort. It's Mr. Fiber says I sound like a dead seal, or like a seal that's dying. And I mean, we were laughing, and I had an AFib episode. I don't know if it's correlated or not. I'll have to ask him about that, but that's what happened. And that one lasted it was less than an hour, but a good while. And then the next one I had was on, I think it was like the 6th of January, So not very many days after it. And I had gone outside with Cerberus and I sneezed. More AFib. And it was right before Mr. Fiber was supposed to get home. Was getting off work at 3 that day. Would have been home probably, 30 minutes to 45 minutes later. And I had that sneeze, and it was, took Cerberus out. He eats at 3, and it took him out to go potty. And I sneezed, and it started, and it lasted for an hour and a half. And I thought about going to the doctor and saying, okay, it's happening. Maybe you should like hook me up and take a look. And I waited, and I'm like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. It'll probably stop at any time. I'll wait till Mr. Fiber gets home. Mr. Fiber gets home, and I said that's all I needed because it stopped. Anyway. Then the next one was on the 17th of January, and I tell you, I feel like there'll probably be another one soon. I just feel like I will. I don't know. I don't want it, but the one on the 17th of January lasted, and it was, what was I doing? Can't remember what I was doing that day, but it lasted for 2 hours. So it's coming about every week to 2 weeks. So I do my caffeine in the morning, and then I don't do any more caffeine throughout the day. It's hard, y'all. I love my coffee, as you know. Doing a little research here and there as far as, AFib and blah, blah, blah. And some of you may say, well, what about the diet? Okay, we're going to talk more about the diet probably tomorrow. I don't want this to go on forever. I am going to finish the 7 rows with this yarn. Okay. And I will tell you whatever it was I did, but I'm probably going to increase. What I may do is just try it on. Try it on and see where it's hitting, because I don't know. I mean, it's going to get bigger mostly on its own, but I know I'm going to need to add, and I may split it up. So like I have 76 stitches. If I split that up, I probably need to increase by what I could do, like 4, and figure out 76 divided by 4, 30, 15, like what is that, on the 16 or 18, something like that, and do 4 of them. So that may be what I do. We'll see. I'm winging it, y'all, but here's how that yarn is looking. It's pretty. I think it's going to be great to have this light color here where I started. That'll be great. Okay, I hope you guys come back and spend some time with me tomorrow. Tomorrow I will pick a new color. I will show you how this one's looking. We'll pick a new color, and we'll talk more about something else tomorrow. So I'll keep you updated, because I may be getting a call from the cardiologist in Abilene. I go to Abilene for the doctor, and I'll be getting a call. Everything's fine. I'm not hurting. It's just making me tired. And when I went to the doctor the other day, he could hear the AFib, and he had not heard it yet, which means it's probably now occurring during the day and things, then I might not have been noticing it. So I'm trying to be more aware now, but I don't want to be like fixated on it, because things like that can be affected by, you can put yourself into a bit of like an anxiety, and I don't want the anxiety about it. So I'm trying not to have anxiety about all of that. It is what it is. That's what I'm saying. Thank y'all. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will stick with me this today's just the first day in the trying it out kind of thing, and see how it's going to go. And I'll probably get a little better at it every day. And have fun today, y'all. See you tomorrow.